Shalom, 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 shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. For the ones that don't know, Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world innately calls Jesus the Christ. The Rakakwadash is the Holy Spirit in the Paleo Hebrew, and give honors to my teachers who were well in the spirit of great millstone, the elder apostles, the elder bishops, and elder prophets. Lord, and they can continue to endure and be sincere, teaching the Most High's doctrine, right, to the best of their ability. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching this word and believing this word. Lord willing, the Most High can put the same spirit upon them to endure and to be sincere. And shalom to the Akwathium that are believers of this word. Lord willing, you can continue to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. The title of this video is, He Will Avenge Us. He will avenge us from our enemies. Some people don't believe in this. Some people say that they do, but then they feel we talk about the destruction too much. It's not happy and joy, but the bad things or the things that you might seem to be bad must happen before anything get good. In order to take a kingdom, the ones in power has to be broken down, right? Conflict must happen. We can't just talk about good things when we're in the hands of our enemies, which they're creating bad things for us. And if we're too distracted, we'll fall into that system, which if you really cleave to the system and when they change it, that's going to show you a lot. Is either you a 2/3 or lower than you a 1/3. Literally the 1/3 is going to be provided for, right? And starting with the elect men, that's on the forefront that the Lord have put to be teachers. Not all teachers are the elect, but the true men of the Lord, in that day, they're going to be known to being His chosen, right? And even the women, because there's going to be women that's going to cleave to these men, right? And Lord willing, we of that number, right? Because you should be aiming to pursue to be that number. And if not, this is not for you, This is not for you. But I'm going to start at Luke, the 18th chapter, verse 7 and 8. In the KJV, it says, "And shall not God avenge His own elect, which cry day and night unto Him, though He bear long with them? I tell you that He will avenge them speedily," right? Quickly. "Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall He find faith on the earth? Yes, but only in a remnant, only in a few," which is really the elect, right? I want to get coordinates, the Strongs of the word avenge.
Strong's G 1557. Ekdikesis. Ekdikesis.
Ekdikesis, right? Avenge is like a revenging or vengeance or punishment or retribution, right? Which the children of Israel, all the things that have been done to us, these nations touch the apple of the Most High's eye. And whatever you reap is what you're going to sow later on, right? I'll just go to a side precept, if I may, before I go into the select part, right? Salaki family. First one I'm going to get is Revelations, the 6th chapter, verse 10. It says, "And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, doest thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?" Right? But it comes with patience. Another one is Revelations 14. because the elect is going to be patient and they're going to occupy. They're going to continue in this faith, right? Because the Lord is not working on our time. He's working on his time, right? He's looking at his true children, right? And even between the true children, we have to get sifted out, because it could be wicked or non-serious Israelites being imposters. What is it? 2 Timothy 3:13. Seducers. That word for seducers is imposters. It's imposters here, right? And the Lord is going to avenge us even from the people in our own nation who bump against us. You see it in the lower levels since the truth been coming up, even with the outer apostles, people been bumping up against them. But more and more, when this kingdom, surely start crumbling, we're gonna see the love of many is gonna wax even colder, right? Let me get this other one that I just quoted, Revelations 14:12, right? It says, "Here is the patience of the saints," and the saints is the elect. The saints is Israelites. It says, "Here are they that keep the commandments of God in the faith of Yahushua," right? And they're doing the best that they can by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments on their side. We know that we're in the hands of our enemies. We know that it's hard, but serving the Lord as a whole, because Yahushua come in a whole volume in a book, with faith, you're going to be drawn to do what pleases the Lord. It's just like a father or a mother. You try to do things that please them by listening to what they say. It's not just when Yahushua come, you throw away the law. You still look the same way how the law say same sex is a sin. The Lord not dealing with that, because that's abomination, right? So we supposed to have the same motion on the things that the Lord don't like and the things that the Lord do like, right? So going to another one, a side one, which is Psalms chapter 9, verse 8. "He shall judge the world in righteousness. He shall minister judgment to the people in uprightness," right? The Lord is going to come with righteous judgment upon this place, man, right? We even got the other prophecy, which when you go into Revelation, the 18th chapter, you got to read the whole chapter, even chapter 17. But I'm just going to read this one verse. Just keep going back to the point of avenge, right? This is Revelation 18:20. "Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her," right? So the apostles is back. They're back on the earth. A lot of people don't think of it. You used to go to church and, oh man, this is a prophet that didn't lay with a woman. This is a prophet that's a virgin. The scriptures don't say that you have to be a virgin. You have to be called, right? Let's get that classic, right? Which is Jeremiah 1:5. Right? The Lord have chosen his apostles and his prophets. The Lord have chosen his elect. We didn't choose him. He chose us. Right? This is Jeremiah chapter 1 and verse 5. I'm going to read verse 4. It says, "Then the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying," coming to the word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nation." Right? Verse 6. "Then said Lord Yahweh God, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord Yahweh said unto me, Say not, I am a child. For thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak." Right? The Lord has called us to teach his word, and we must speak his word. And if we not speaking his word, or say if we want to speak our own, you are considered a false prophet. The Lord didn't send you, right? And even more, what helps us be held accountable is teaching the same thing, right? Amos 3:3. If two agree, they can walk together. If all the way from the milk prophets, the prophecies, the parables, the dark sayings, if those all have to be in oneness and alignment. And even for me to see through the spirit from what I truly believe, when you go to let me get this side precept if I may. What is it? Ecclesiastes 3:15. I'm gonna read it in the NLT because it gives you a more chunk, right? This is Ecclesiastes 3:15. In the NLT it says, "What is happening now has happened before, and what will happen in the future has happened before, because God makes the same things happen over and over again." Right? Now, before I read this Ezekiel, what happened before? Jeremiah 28:8. And they were speaking truth, Right? This is Jeremiah 28:8, which, we always bring out. It says, "The prophet that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries, going into the revenge of the Lord, against great kingdoms of war, of evil and pestilence, either coming upon our people," right? They was even prophesying of the coming of Hamashiach Yahushai. We was the men of the Lord, and even some parables, dark sayings, they was speaking of the kingdom of heaven. They was always speaking of thus saith the Lord, right? So going back, how we seen in Revelations, the Lord is going to avenge the apostles and the prophets off this place. We went to Ecclesiastes 3:15 in the NLT, where it shows what is happening now has happened already before, and what will happen in the future has happened before, because God makes the same things happen over and over again, right? Going to Daniel 2:21, which I kind of bring out fluently. This is something that happened in our past, right? And it's still been going on. We really didn't have to understand it, but this been going on, especially when it comes to people in high seats, elites, kings, pharaohs. Like, they changed the words, but the ones that's ruling, they're like pharaohs. They're like emperors, right? Dictators, kings, rulers, right? When you go to Daniel 20:21, it says, "He changeth the times and the seasons. He removeth kings and set up kings. He giveth wisdom unto the wise and knowledge to them that know understanding." Right? So the Lord, right before our eyes, is setting up who's going to be in that seat. It might look like to you doing that your vote matter. Really, it's the elites. They're not elected. They're selected. They're selected to be a runner-up, and they're selected to be a president. But really, everything is orchestrated in the heavens. Nothing get past the eyes of the Lord. Your whole life has been documented since you've been on this earth. Everything been documented. And right now, it's a time to prophesy, right? Let me go back to that Ezekiel, right? It's right now we in a time that we should be prophesying, but we should be teaching in oneness. You should be teaching 100% truth, because you'll have people cleaving to the wrong thing and they think it's really the truth, but that's just a whole setup. The Lord has his hand in the righteous and in the wicked, right? And guess what? It's going to be more 2/3 than 1/3. Somebody has to fit that bill. Some people that is careless, or a lot of us, we make wrong choices. We make wrong decisions, right? And some of our decisions is picking our teachers, right? So this is Ezekiel 13, starting at verse 1. It says, "And the word of the Lord Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy, and say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts, hear ye the word of the Lord Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh power, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing." Right? Because you'll have like pastors, or you have Israelites, saying this is all through the Spirit. You got brothers looking at their outfit or the clothes, the merch that they made. Oh man, this is all through the Spirit, right? The Lord is not dealing with you on that level, because it's truly about the edifying of His children, which edifying means to build up, right? We have to be built back to knowing the Lord, the true Lord, right? We shouldn't be bringing forth that. If this shows, this is a sidebar, this shows, if we wasn't in Christianity calling Yahweh Shai Jesus, what if we was calling him Usis, right? And when we come into this true knowledge and his name is Yahweh Shai, our people would still use Usis and say, hey, everybody don't know the Hebrew name. Then that means you're not out here to teach for the elect. You're out here to please everybody, which is another form of respect of persons. You know, the Lord cares for his nation, but on this side, the elect is going to only be the one that's going to obtain it, right? Because the revenge, or the Lord is only going to avenge the elect on this side, right? But yeah, the nations did touch the whole nation of Israel, which helped pollute us, right? But who wasn't going to be polluted? The one that was going to obtain that salvation. This is Romans 11:7. What then Israel have not obtained, that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded, right? Because the elect is seeking for 100% truth. We're not the elect is not looking for gimmicks. You know, yes, I had moments where you buying merch from brothers, but we're not seeking a man to teach this word and promote his business while he's teaching, or mixing up the ministry with his business, right? Or being cool with people, or promoting people's business that might call the Lord Yahuwah. Some people say, hey, the name of the Lord don't matter until the Lord get back. Yes, it does matter. You know, what is his father's name and what is his son's name? It matters. You know, the Lord is bringing us back to true knowledge, right? Because without this true knowledge, brothers is we're really dumb, right? Salaki. Hold on, I'm trying to get this. Hold on, family. I just said something. I gotta get this precept. Salaki, family. I think this is it right here. This is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 4. I'm going to start at 3. It says, I neither learned wisdom nor have the knowledge of the holy, who have ascended up into heaven or descended, who have gathered the wind in his fist, who have bound the waters in a garment, who have established all the ends of the earth. What is his name and what is his son's name, if thou canst tell, right? What is their name? Yahweh's name means he exists or he to be, which is Yahweh. What is his son's name? Yahweh Shai, who is the Redeemer or he saves, right? Let's get a side precept, if I may. Psalm 68, right? Because the names matter. Because if you want to get avenged, you want to know who's going to come and avenge you, right? And that's going to be the one true power, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. This is Psalm 68, verse 18. Thou hast ascended on high. Thou hast led captivity captive. Thou hast received gift for men, yeah, for the rebellious. Also, that the Lord Yahweh might dwell among them, right? But who's going to dwell among us? Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, right? Who ascended and descended? That was Yahweh Shai. All through our lives, if you could see it, if you can tell, right? We got Isaac through the Spirit, right? We got Melchizedek, right? We got Solomon, and he came as himself. Yahweh Shai was ascending and descending, but truly he ascended when he was Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh Shai is going to come back. What is it? Wisdom of Solomon, the 18th chapter, right? This is all just going into who's going to avenge us. And like this verse right here, this is Wisdom of Solomon 18:15. Thy almighty word, St. John, the 1st chapter, which is going into Yahweh Shai, leap down from the heaven out of thy royal throne as a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction, right? Yahweh Shai is coming back to destroy. He's not coming for a peace treaty. He's coming to gather his elect. But you nations, you're going to get it. And you 2/3, you're not dying in no damn wilderness. You're dying in America. You don't know what Gorilla is telling you. The 2/3 is dying in this land. Right? Their bodies is not getting in no chariot. How they going to get in the wilderness from here? Not no airplane, not no helicopter. You know, the elect is getting beamed up in chariots. Some don't believe in it, right? Yahweh Shai is coming with anger because what is it? If the Father and the Son name go hand in hand, right? The Son has the wisdom and the power of his Father. He's having the same anger because he's watching everything we do, sitting on the right hand of the Father. Everything is being documented. So Yahweh Shai is coming down like a man of war, right? Let me just get that because I quoted Exodus 15:3. Yahweh Shai is going to be the physical Godhead that come down on behalf of Yahweh, right? This is like Exodus 15:3. The Lord Yahweh is a man of war. The Lord Yahweh is his name, right? The Lord is a man of war. Why do you think it's war in the mouths of the wicked, right? Of these nations, of Esau, right? Why is war coming out their mouth? Because Yahweh is a man of war, right? Regardless if you see it or not. St. John 3:13, and no man have ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven, even the Son of Man, which is in heaven, right? Nobody ascended up, right? Now, it is one, which is Enoch. I mean, not Enoch. I mean, he didn't die too. He did get translated too. But it was Elijah. But who ascended and descended? That's Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the main character of our nation. You know, he's a physical Godhead. That's why I'm saying he's the most important, right? Yahweh is the Ancient of Days. But who is the physical representation of that power? It's Yahweh Shai. You know, Yahweh Shai is going to come and redeem his people, right? Because this is good in the eyes of his Father. Yahweh Shai is only doing the will of his Father. Yahweh Shai is not doing the will of himself. You know, every creation has a script, has a purpose. Yahweh Shai, that is his purpose, right? Let me get that in the G&T. What is it? Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 39, verse 21. It says, no one should ask why things are as they are. Everything in creation has its purpose. Yahweh Shai was the first creation out of all creations. And his purpose was to fulfill his Father's will. Right? Then Yahweh Shai prayed to his heavenly Father. He said, let this cup pass over me, but let it be thy will and not mine. Right? Going back to, you know, the word avenge. This is Psalm chapter 10, verse 15. Break thou the arm of the wicked. First, who is the wicked? right? Now, of course, I know you guys see the picture right there, right? But hey, it's okay. The ones that know, they know, right? I want to get to this one. I'm going to believe we go to Malachi, the first chapter. This Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places as they did. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. Sidebar. We want to continue to see them build because the more you build, the harder the fall. You know, the higher you build, the harder the fall. Right? It says, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh have indignation forever. He has indignation against them forever. You go to Sirach 50, it's 3 things that the Lord detests, and one of them don't deserve to be a nation, which is an Edomite, right? Plain and simple. Not Japhet, right? It's an Edomite, a descendant of Esau. Plain and simple. But they're the borderline of wickedness. You know, like when you driving out of town and then you about to hit the border. That's the borderline. Now you're not in, like, if I'm leaving New York, say if I don't know how, I usually went on a plane, so I don't know how to describe it, but say if I'm going to ATL, as soon as I pass that borderline of, you know, the surrounding areas of New York, I'm not in New York. As soon as I cross that borderline, Esau is the borderline of, it can't get no more wicked than these mother suckers, right? Just like how iron rusteth, if the iron is not taken care of, like, you got to really take care of metal, you know, especially when it comes to moist and water, metal will get rusty, right? But their wickedness is just like rust. It just keeps getting rusty and rusty and rusty, right? So again, Psalms chapter 10, verse 15, break thou the arm of the wicked and the evil man, seek out his wickedness till thou find none, right? And you got to know, the nations, they play a role in this too. But Esau is the head because this is his kingdom. It was given unto him, and he is the end of the earth. Especially when we go back to Jacob and Esau, right? He's blessed with the sword. Swords wouldn't be the way that they is if Esau wasn't blessed with it, right? Verse 16, it says, the Lord Yahweh is king forever and ever. The heathen are perished out of his land. The Lord Yahweh, thou hast heard the desire of the humble, right? Because the humble is crying unto the Lord. You know, the humble is the low. The humble is the one that's not trying to be first on this side because their first is with the Lord. Ooh, that makes a lot of sense. You know, the humble, the elect, the righteous really on this side is not looking for their first on this side. They're getting by. They're living a simple life because their true happiness, their true riches is with the Heavenly Father, right? Under Yahweh Shai, right? Thou wilt prepare their heart. Thou wilt cause thy ear to hear, to judge the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may no more oppress, right? And this is why the Lord is raising up a true standard, right? When we go into the Ezekiel 37, which become an exceeding great army, every time when you hear about prophesying and teaching and edifying to be builded, you always start with the men. Because the men, the Lord is calling to do the most, right? Because the men is the one that's going to put their bodies on the line. Because we ought to be like Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai made the elect to be just like him, right? Look, the ministry, he made this. This is foolish. But this is only for true believers. That's why the ones that is teaching, they're only teaching for true believers. The true believers is only the elect, right? I forgot where, oh no, I know where I'm going. I had other precepts that just hit my head, but I want to stay on the line, right? This is 1 First John chapter 2, verse 6. He that saith he abideth in him ought himself also to walk even as he walked. Right? So we must endure persecution. It's going to get worse. Getting chastised. Right? Yahushua had to get smitten. And that was all by the Father. Right? So everything we going through, which this quote that Lord willing I don't forget, which is motivating, right? It says to live is to suffer, but to survive is to find. Meaning in one suffering, right? We find our true purpose through our suffering. You know, before you come in this truth, you were suffering alive. You were suffering in a delusion, and you was living morally in the flesh. You know, and we slip sometimes even on this side because of this flesh is so freaking filthy. What is that? Isaiah 64 verse 4 or 6, right? We're filthy rags, right? And we need the Lord to avenge us, right? But the Lord is only avenging the humble, right? The meek, right? Let me get that. That's in the gospel, right? Matthew the 5th chapter, right? This is Matthew chapter 5, starting at verse 3. It says, blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Right? We have a lot of our brothers and sisters that's poor in faith. You know, they poor in the spirit, right? But they still have some type of belief. And it just goes back to like leapers, people that was sick, people that had less faith. You had some of the disciples that had less faith. Then Yahushua even tell them, don't doubt, right? But they grew in faith, being more with Yahushua. Especially when he started to get persecuted, a lot of them ran and fled away, right? But they came back, especially Peter. He denied Yahushua. He was afraid of what he was seeing. It got real at that time. Right now, we just doing our thing, we teaching, but it's going to happen to us too. We're going to really see who's standing on business. It don't matter if you're going to jail, you're in a FEMA camp, or you get your head cut off. It matters is you still standing on business. You know, we're not fearing what man can do unto us. As soon as you show that you fear what man can do, you're going to fold. Oh, no, I'll do anything that you want me to do. Verse 4 says, blessed are they that mourn, and they shall be comforted. Right? The first ones that's mourning and complaining is the elect men. Right? What is that? Proverbs 29 and 2 or 1. You know, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. When the wicked are in authority, the people mourn. The true ones that are mourning is the children of Israel. Of course, you have lower level people in other nations, and you have Israelites that could, but they're not mourning when it comes to thus saith the Lord. The ones that the Lord have given this understanding to, they're mourning, you know, at the mountaintop, right? It says, blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. The meek is the humble. That shows that they going to get the kingdom. The humble is getting the kingdom. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Right? And this is what doing this work is. You got to be merciful unto your people when it comes to this teaching. You know? And it's charity. You know, the men is out here daily out for you. Literally through the example, this is mercy of the Lord. You know, every video is mercy of the Lord for you to get it. This is a bait. Every video is a bait on a rod. It's collecting certain type of fish with fins and scales. You know what I'm saying? You're the ones that come in His truth. Before you come in His truth, you are a fish, right? The Lord made the men of the Lord fishers of men. Before I got in here teaching, I was baited. I had to get wielded in this. And it happens to all of us in different ways. But when the Lord call you, you're going to come in this thing. It's nothing you can do. Right? Verse 8, it says, blessed are the pure in heart and mind. They shall see the Most High. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for there is the kingdom of God. Right? The true elect is going to get persecuted for this truth. The same thing Yahushua went through, we're going to have to go through on this side. Because we read it in Ecclesiastes 3 and 15. You know, what has happened already happened. This happened already. People got martyred for this truth. People getting stoned for this truth. All throughout the true believers of the Lord. Look at Noah. People was laughing, probably ignoring, thinking Noah was crazy. Soon as the water start coming down and start hitting them, then they looking for Moses. But look at that. The Lord sealed the door because we're in the flesh. He would have, oh no, Lord, let's save him. This is what you get in some people in this camp, in these camps. You Captain Save-A-Ho. And that's really the flesh, right? But the Lord is not just letting any old nigga truly get grasp 100% truth. This is why people will go against it. You know, just for brother just saying they're teaching 100% truth, that just get people feelings hurt. But why would the Lord give you a book from Genesis to Second Maccabees, Genesis to Revelation, and say that it's not 100% truth in here? You know, because he says he gives you all scriptures is given by inspiration of God for doctrine, for reproof, and for correction. Right? That's 100% truth. Right? But it's okay if you don't see it, the Lord will give you the eyes to. Verse 11, blessed are they when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. That's a motivation in so many levels. Because when we went to Jeremiah 28:8, they been, your forefathers, your brothers, Ben was prophesying this thing, man. And they was getting the same treatment that you about to step into. You cool, you going to work, this and that. Why brothers got to be more secretive? If the job really knew how you was teaching and what you was saying, you would lose your job. Certain things we saying on here, we got to speak in code. The elder gave out, you got to speak in code in some of these videos, because your things will get marked, get reported. They're trying to hide the truth, but then they're revealing it. But the more we do, where we're making a problem in this system, we're already marked. The ones that's dedicated to this truth and sincere, you are being marked. Regardless if you don't see it, but your faith, you hold on and you know, right? But a man of the Lord is drawn to teaching Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai word, regardless if his threats coming across. Stephen knew he was getting stoned, and he still was speaking of the Lord. Then at that moment, he looked up and he said, I see the Son of the Heavenly Father sitting on the right-hand side. He seen Yahweh Shai sitting on the right-hand side of his Father. You got to see these people get mad and they throwing stones at him. You know? Just like brothers always saying they seeing chariots. People will talk, oh, brothers saying they seeing chariots. Nigga, that's planes. God, that's satellites. Oh, bro, you're faithless. You're doubting, you know? The angels are messengers, and they're always observing what's going on the earth, because the eyes of the Lord is upon the wicked kingdoms. The Lord can look from the heavens, but the Lord ain't getting off his throne to do nothing. The Lord has angels doing that. Didn't he say the Lord created the smith and the waster? He created the one that's making the smiths, which started with the Germans, right? Really out of the nation of Esau, because you know they conquered the world, just like it says in Job. The devil go to and fro. His physical counterparts, they went to and fro, conquering and devouring who they make, without budging, no emotions or feelings. You know, sorry, I gotta kind of cut it short. I gotta go to work. But Lord willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. I'm gonna read this last one. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 1 verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Right? He's going to repay tribulation to those that trouble us. Lord willing, we have that number. And with that, I'm going to say shalom. All praise to the one true power, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to my teachers, the elder apostles, prophets, and bishops of Great Millstone who rule well in the spirit. Lord willing, you can endure and be sincere in the mighty shalom to the hopeful elect that are scattered four corners of the earth, teaching and believing in this word. Lord willing, the same spirit that you endure and be sincere. With that, shalom.